Here's the truth. The tax code is not a punishment, it's a playbook. It's a series of incentives designed to reward certain behaviors. And if you don't know the rules, you're the one funding the game. In this video, I'll show you how the wealthy legally pay less in taxes and how you can too. So why is it that the tax code rewards some people and not others? Well, the government needs certain things to happen. They want jobs to be created. They want energy to be produced. They want food available for the employees. They need housing. They need commercial real estate. They need other development done, and they need new technology created. All of these things are things the government promotes. It's why we have a government. We don't just have a government for our safety. Their goal is to help the economy grow, to help the citizens be stable and have a stable lifestyle. That's their goal. Now, how do they accomplish that? Or how do they hope to accomplish it? They do it primarily through the tax law. So the government rewards you when you do what the government wants you to do. If you don't do what the government wants you to do, the government penalizes you with high taxes. So when you say fair share, is that fair share of somebody who doesn't know the rules or fair share of somebody who does know the rules? Well, I'll leave that up to you to decide what's fair. But I will tell you this, most people, when they say, I want to pay my fair share, I don't think they have any clue what they're saying. I really don't. They don't understand the rules of the game. Here's the truth. You're probably paying more than your fair share in taxes, simply because you don't understand how taxes actually work. You don't understand the rules of the game. The tax code isn't really designed to punish you. It's actually designed to reward you. It's a roadmap with thousands of incentives written to reward entrepreneurs and professional investors. Now, once you know how to follow the roadmap, you'll legally keep more money, build wealth faster, and better yet, you'll never have to feel guilty for it. You're not cheating the system. You're finally using the system the way it was designed. And that's what I teach you step by step inside my playbook. Grab your copy now in the link below. Now, what's the real difference between tax evasion and legal tax avoidance? We hear this a lot. Oh, they're cheating. They're not paying their fair share. Well, wait a minute. You have to ask the question, first of all, what's their fair share? We just talked about that. But also, are they cheating? So tax evasion is cheating. Tax evasion can get you in prison, or at least a lofty fine. Tax avoidance is actually designed into the law. In other words, we are expected to use the law in such a way legally to reduce our taxes. Otherwise, the government couldn't do what it wanted to do, which would be to incentivize you to do certain things. If the government said, well, hey, everybody just has to pay a flat 20% in taxes. Everybody just pays 20% in taxes. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're a business owner, how you invest or anything, you just pay 20%. Well, the government loses all its leverage over the economy. All of it. Truly, what leverage does the government have left? None. This is why we have a progressive income tax system, because what they want is the more money you have and the higher the taxes, the more an incentive is worth to you. So they want you to use those incentives to bring your taxes back down. Now, you can bring them all the way to zero if you want to. If you want to change your tax, you have to change your facts. You have to play by the rules that the wealthy play by. And those rules are available to everybody. Everybody can use them. If you don't use them, that should be your choice. But if you don't know them, you don't have a choice. One of the biggest problems with owning gold is storing that gold. You pay month after month just to keep it locked away and your stack never grows. But with monetary metals, the model is flipped. Instead of you paying fees, they actually pay you in gold to store your gold with them. That means your ounces go up every month. Now, how does that work? They lease your gold to qualified vetted businesses like jewelers, refiners, mints that need it for inventory to operate. In return, you earn a yield, typically 2 to 4% a year, paid directly in gold. Now, how is that possible? Well, everybody knows that if you're a retailer, wholesaler, etc., you have to maintain a certain amount of inventory on hand at all times. And rather than buying that inventory, they're leasing the inventory from you. So they have the gold there in their inventory for 12 months. And after 12 months, you can get it back or you can renew your lease. That's how it works. So for many investors, this simple shift, turning the cost of storage into a yield on their storage, is the difference between watching wealth erode and watching it compound. Monetary Metals has already completed over 75 deals across 5 continents with thousands of ounces paid out to clients, and so far, 0 losses. So if you own gold Ask yourself, why let it drain you when it could be working for you? Go to monetary-metals.com/CPA today and see how your ounces could start growing again. That's monetary-metals.com/CPA and let them know that I sent you. So remember, these incentives, they're not loopholes. They're not unintended consequences. They're not sneaky ways to reduce your taxes. These are in full view. They're in full view of the IRS. They're in full view of the Congress. Congress wrote them. Congress wants them implemented. The IRS is just wanting to make sure that you don't do things that are illegal. They don't want you to cheat. I don't want you to cheat. But using the incentives, for example, bonus depreciation. Nobody ever got an audit because they took bonus depreciation. Nobody ever paid a fine or penalty because they legally used bonus depreciation. That's an example. They're just incentives. If you give your child an incentive to study hard, does that mean if they study hard for that incentive that they're a bad child? No, they're doing exactly what mom and dad wants them to do. They're doing just what you want them to do. Why would you punish them for doing what you've told them that you want them to do? You want them to study hard and you give them this incentive. The government's doing the same thing. Think of the government as, we'll call them Big Brother. They're giving you the incentive. They're saying, look, if you're a resident of the United States, you are in the tax system of the United States. You reside here, citizen or not, you're a resident, you pay taxes in the United States. Wouldn't you rather understand the rules? See, you're not just at risk of high taxes. As an entrepreneur, you're also at risk of lawsuits. In fact, at least half of all entrepreneurs will face a lawsuit sometime during their career. The good news is you can protect yourself and your wealth and your taxes all with the right structure. Click the video on screen right now and I'll show you the simple step every entrepreneur must take to stay protected and keep more of what they earn.